Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak, Veris Conley, Robert Paris, and Gwyneth McNamee. Peter Brown with the weather, Anthony Matos with sports, and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. A Burlington firefighter EMT is on paid administrative leave after a March 7th incident. The firefighter, Eric Holy, went on an ambulance call for a 2-year-old who had trouble breathing. The child was successfully treated and is reported to be doing fine. Later on, surveillance camera footage obtained by Boston 25 News appears to show Holy banging the ambulance into Burlington Fire Station 2. Fire Chief Andrew Conity confirms the firefighter is on paid leave while the department investigates his conduct on that shift. Elections are just around the corner on Saturday, April 6th, and candidates gathered at the Senior Center this week to make their case to senior residents. BNews producer Sydney Bowles moderated the discussion, and she has this report.
First question, what can you do for seniors with cost of living? Taxes come up very quickly. Any chance of lowering senior taxes? Burlington could be the first. The questions ranged from gender on the select board to the impacts of rising tax rates on those on fixed incomes.
I have no idea how to answer. Can we lower taxes for seniors? I love the concept, but boy, that's something we'd really have to look at. I have no concept even how to answer it. If you guys want to answer that, all the best to you. Because how do you lower taxes when we have so much amenities in this town for everybody, especially the seniors?
So it turns out that if we're going to make changes to seniors and taxes, it has to be at the state level, because we actually confirmed this March that we actually have, there's state legislation that we can't have a different tax rate for seniors. So that's not something we can do locally, but long term.
This is definitely something that is within the purview of the select board to keep an eye on, because, you know, we're looking out for all of you. I mean, the seniors especially, because I know you're on a fixed income. A lot of you are on a fixed income. So keeping our taxes as low as possible across the board is really important.
The forum was also a chance to get to know how candidates represented themselves.
So I've been a town meeting member for 3 terms, and I've really made the most of that experience during my time on town meeting. I've served on the Capital Budget Committee at one point as the chair of the Capital Budget Committee. I've also served on the Rules Committee, as well as some ad hoc committees that include the Sidewalk Committee.
For the last 7 years, I've been the town moderator, and I would like to continue doing that. I think I do a good job at it. I run a fair meeting. I have appointed active committees that are doing their job. So those are the 2 big pieces of what a town moderator does, and I've done them well.
While affordable housing is critical for a prosperous community, so too is public housing for those low-income seniors and those living with disabilities to find a home. The Burlington Housing Authority's mission is to provide safe, decent, clean housing for this underrepresented group. I've demonstrated my commitment to the town over the last 21 years and have gotten things done in all the committees for which I've served.
I'm running for re-election to the school committee because I care about Burlington's children, our families, and our community. As a lifelong educator myself, I listen carefully and I do my homework before making decisions.
Over the past 9 years as a resident, I've become more and more involved in Burlington. I have been, for the past 6 years, the president of the Special Education Parent Advisory Council. And what our job is to advise the school committee on matters that pertain to the education and safety of students with special needs.
Check out the full forum on bcattv.org. And don't forget to vote on or before April 6th. For BNews, I'm Sydney Bowles.
It was the last select board meeting for Mike Runyan this week. Runyan has served on the board for 12 years, and before that he was on the Housing Authority and served the town as a firefighter. His colleagues in government and in public service had kind words for him Monday night.
I know this is an emotional night for you, so I am going to try to make you cry. Just so everybody knows that. Lynn, did you bring the tissues? Okay. I brought one. There's a few things I'd like to say personally. Personally, you've become an incredible friend over the years. We've known each other for probably 50 years before that, and the integrity that you've showed me on this board on how to treat people and how to be nice and how to be thoughtful and every other acclimate that you can go along with that has been incredible on my end. For the 9 years that I've been here, you've just been outstanding to the town of Burlington. It's been just a joy to work with you.
Mike, you've been a colleague, I'd say, a co-worker in public safety. You've been a friend, you've been a mentor. And as Joe said, you think about all Mike has done between the fire department, housing authority, all his subcommittees, and this board. You can't put a number on the number of people that you've improved their lives because of your actions.
I mean, thank you. They are, a couple of words that don't fully mean, don't carry the weight of what we're trying to say, but I hope that, somewhere in your heart you feel it.
I do.
So, thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Truly.
Your love and dedication and compassion for this town is impeccable and unmatched. And I have learned a lot from you in my 2 years on the board with you. And I appreciate it. So I want to say thank you for that.
Burlington Ways and Means Committee is recommending 2 debt exclusions to fund the town's 2 major upcoming capital projects, the police station and the Fox Hill Elementary School. The projects are expected to cost the town about $45 million for the police station and $62 million for the Fox Hill, much more than previous capital projects due in part to the rising cost of construction. Debt exclusion allows the town to raise taxes more than 2.5% each year for the life of the project bond, which is likely to be 20 years. Burlington has never successfully passed one, but there are common funding mechanisms elsewhere in the Commonwealth. To pass one, a majority of town voters will need to sign on to raising their own taxes, likely in a vote next April. It will take a 2/3 vote at town meeting to approve bond issues for either of the 2 projects. Ways and Means Committee Chair John Eiler says part of the job of the next year is educating residents on how a debt exclusion will work.
A big part of the education campaign is going to be explaining that very fact. You're not, the town people, when you vote in the election for this debt exclusion, you're not voting right now, will my taxes go up or not because of these projects. You're not even voting on the projects because town meeting is determining the expenditure. You're just voting to give good financial leeway planning for the future for the town.
Isla says Burlington has enough cushion in its finances to build both projects without debt exclusions, but it would be good financial planning to go forward with them. The bond for the police station building project is expected to come up at May's town meeting and the Fox Hill in September. So far, there is no word as what the estimate would be in terms of a tax bill, the increase in taxes for the average home in Burlington. A troublesome intersection across the street from the high school is soon to get a redesign. Where Birchcrest Street intersects with the dead-end McIntyre Drive, right now is an expansive intersection much wider than a typical T-junction. Town civil engineer Gabe Moran says it's leading to problems for residents. Let's look.
A lot of the drainage issues are due to the fact that the road just doesn't have an easy channel for the water to flow down. So the water kind of comes down the hill and just flows through right into number 2 Birchcrest, right in the corner of Cambridge, and just destroys their house. They get so much water. So I kind of talked to Tom, and I said, why don't we look into making this maybe a more conventional T-type intersection, 90-degree angles, which is the ACTO standard for intersections.
Moran says the redesign will also encourage drivers to take the intersection more slowly. Burlington is not the only community struggling to meet the mental health needs of its student body, and now the town may have a new approach to addressing it. Collaborative care is an increasingly popular method for delivering care through school districts. It brings mental health clinicians into school districts without adding additional costs. Under a new pilot program launching at the high school, a student referred for mental health support will meet their parents and with a care coordinator located right in the building. The care coordinator will connect the student with the right services right there in the school, but instead of the district hiring and paying for those staff members, the student's health insurance would shoulder the cost. Superintendent Eric Conti explained his thinking on the matter.
we are seeing increased challenges of mental health. I think we have higher demand than we can meet all the time, and this is just a way of expanding again, that care. And I think to Mr. Brooks's sort of point, maybe, the way I'm interpreting your point is I actually think it involves parents more in the coordination of the care, because they're a critical partner in this. We're not saying your child needs some mental health support and trusting the parent to do it. The parent is actually coming in and being a part of it, or else it's not happening if they're not giving consent. So I think it's a there's almost more involvement from my perspective, or more coordination from my perspective.
If the pilot goes well, the district may expand to middle and elementary school buildings. Burlington does have a department solely devoted to mental health for youth and family services in the town. Some members of the Burlington community have received transcripts in the mail that appear to show a Marshall Simons middle school teacher sharing with students political rhetoric that is critical of abortion, transgender issues, and immigration. It's not clear how many residents have received the envelopes, who is sending them, or why those who received them were chosen. The envelopes have a return address that simply says for the students at MSMS who cannot speak up for themselves, and the envelope contains a cover letter and what appears to be a transcript of a recording. BNEWS has not verified the original recording or who took it, so we're not sharing the contents of the transcript or the name of the teacher involved. Some residents have received the envelope and have expressed alarm that a teacher would share partisan political opinions with their students. Others doubted whether the transcript was real. The school administration and the school committee declined to comment on the issue due to ongoing personnel issues. A local nonprofit has donated $12,000 to Burlington Recreation Department to support a swimming program for people with intellectual disabilities. The James Gang was founded by the Anderson family, whose son James Anderson has been diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder called NARS-1. James and his cousin Liam Cronin will be competing in the Boston Marathon in April as a duo team again this year. The I Can Swim program is a week-long series of classes that will be held this summer for anyone over the age of 3. Rec Commission Chair David Norden thanked the Anderson family.
What you're doing for the community, the world, is inspirational, and I really appreciate what you're doing.
12 Burlington High School students aced a statewide competition for business and entrepreneurship skills and are headed to an international competition in Anaheim, California. Sydney Bowles has more.
From Burlington, Robert Jeswell.
66 students from Burlington's Deca chapter presented at the state championship in Boston, earning medals for their business plans, professional role plays, and stock market savvy.
We gave a presentation on the product and service management of the Devil's Den here at VHS.
So basically you get $100,000 of fake money and you invest in the real market, and after 3 months, just whoever made the most money wins.
So you get a role play scenario where I'm going to be put in the position of either something hotel related, so whether it's a front desk worker or the manager or the owner of a hotel.
Going up and down the stairs 100 times to take pictures of your kids on the stage getting awards never gets old.
12 students will be journeying to California in April to represent the town at the International Career Development Conference.
It's definitely a pretty great feeling. You know, I've worked really hard, and it's really nice to see things pay off.
I was a top 5 state champion in my category, and then that qualified me to move on to the international competition.
I just like that you get to meet so many different people and compete, and you learn a lot all at the same time.
I like meeting a bunch of very driven young people and just getting to know them.
My message to them is just take all the risks, just go for it on your presentations and on your role plays, because just stand out and do the best that you can, and then they might get rewarded with winning what they call the glass, the award at ICDC.
Best of luck in Anaheim, Deca. For BNews, I'm Sydney Bowles.
How impressive. The Temple Shalom Emet celebrated the Jewish holiday of Purim with a modernized retelling of the original story inspired by the Barbie movie, of all things. Varys Conley has more.
Eloheinu melech haolam
On March 22nd, the Temple Shalom Emeth celebrated Purim, a Jewish holiday that celebrates the saving of the Jews in Persia from the king's advisor Haman back in 5th century BCE. The temple celebrates this holiday every year with a modern retelling of the original tale, using contemporary media, such as the 2023 Barbie movie, to act as a medium to inform future generations of this important holiday.
Purim is a holiday which talks about how the Jews were nearly annihilated by an oppressor who tried to kill them all, and the Jews were able to overcome him and were saved by the heroism of Queen Esther and Mordecai, two Jews. The importance of the holiday is that even though we face horrible times, we're somehow able to find a way to survive.
The Purim event was also performed by the temple's younger community later that weekend. The community highlights the meaning of the holiday itself, but also its importance to them personally as well.
It goes back to the traditions of when I was a kid. I remember going to services with my parents, coming to Purim and dressing up and participating in events like this, of the telling of the story. Whenever I come now, I think back to those days. I remember my parents, my grandparents, and it's really a connection to the past in that way.
Brings the Jewish community together and gives us something to be proud of, gives you something to identify with, to be part of your tradition, and to feel very good about and to share with other people.
This is Varys Connolly from BNews.
And from one religious celebration to another, Burlington's churches joined forces to hold a Palm Sunday procession. Volunteer reporter Gwyneth McNamee has this story.
It was a bright but chilly day as the procession traveled about 3/4 of a mile from St. Mark's Episcopal Church to the United Church of Christ.
The event today, we had a mini horse named Clyde leading the procession. We had the Burlington Police Department riding alongside and making sure everyone was safe. We had kids and families and members of a couple different congregations in town just processing from one church to another, showing that these churches stand together to share this message of love and have a good time on a beautiful day.
Palm Sunday marks the beginning of Holy Week, perhaps the most important week on the Christian calendar.
It starts with Palm Sunday, which is the day we remember Jesus' entry into Jerusalem. Then all week, Jesus is teaching at the temple, and then, of course, on Thursday, he celebrates the Last Supper with his disciples. Good Friday is the day where Jesus is crucified, and then Easter Sunday, we celebrate the day of Jesus' resurrection.
Deb Raymond had the idea for the procession.
We want to be out in the community more so that people know that churches are out here, that we celebrate, we have fun, everything isn't serious, that just come and have a good time with us.
This turnout has been great. Not just members of our church, but members of the Presbyterian Church, the Episcopal Church in town, and other folks from the other Christian communities or people in the community who just came by. It was good to just be together. I met a bunch of people that I hadn't met before. And then we got to stand around and talk and share lemonade and cookies. So I was really happy with it, and hopefully next year we can do it again and it'll be even bigger.
For BNews Weekly, I'm Gwyneth McNamee.
The Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce has cut the ribbon on Burlington's newest home appliance retailer. Here's Tad Stefanak.
From the sales floor to your front door, the Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce is cutting the ribbon on Synergy Home Appliances.
Been in the business for 35 years and decided to open my own store here in Burlington, Massachusetts. Try to earn the trust of everyone within the community and the surrounding communities to come in here and explore our beautiful showroom. And we carry everything from A to Z. We will have all different price points.
We're here today at Synergy Appliances, and if you haven't been down here, we know you haven't, unbelievable. Brand new space, but it's a new concept too in having an appliance place located out of the retail sector because it's a destination. And looking around here today, the products that they have are absolutely
beautiful. We have over 25 refrigerators on the floor. We have over 20 dishwashers, washers and dryers, whether they're stackable front loads or top loading machines. Over 25 dishwashers, wall ovens, cooktops, you name it, we have it.
It adds the appliances to a lot of the home design shops that we have here now. We look for that partnerships between these organizations. It's a welcome addition to Burlington. It's a welcome addition to the Chamber.
We're not going to just sell you a product on day one. It's after sales support that we're going to specialize in. So when you leave here, you know you have aftermarket support going forward as long as you need it. We're here for you.
From Synergy Home Appliances, I'm BNews reporter Tad Stefanak.
We're heading into spring sports here in Burlington. Let's check in with Anthony Matos for the report.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Matos in this weekly sports report. The courts and fields are now open. BNews sports reporter Robert Paris has his own spring preview.
The sun is shining and days are much longer, and at BHS, the athletes have geared up for the spring sport programs, which will all begin in April. The program numbers have been steadily improving, and this year, there's a lot more than usual.
We've had a really great turnout. This is our highest numbers we've had in the 3 seasons. We're at, I think there were about 30 registrants.
A lot of returners, so it's just nice. It's nice. The weather's cooperated with us. It's a little colder, but you know what? There's no snow on the ground. There's no rain in the air, so we're very lucky and happy.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how all 65 of our girls do this year. It's the most we've ever had on the team so far, so we can definitely use them in all different parts of the meet, all different events, and I'm really excited to see how our numbers help us this year because I know they're going to help us.
We got a lot of seniors in this team, a lot of veterans. We had a really good season last year, trying to build on what we did last year and do even better. Our guys worked really hard, keep in shape in the off season and playing privately in their own.
Everyone has returned for girls lacrosse. As last year, it was all juniors.
Same crew back, and we are just most looking forward to being back together and working hard, and we have the same goal that we did last year, and we would just love to make it back to the tournament.
A couple of teams are defending their title, including girls tennis and boys track.
A good turnout as far as numbers go. We have 33. This year we want to defend our title, Freedom Division champions. That's one of our top goals.
We're coming off a year where we won both the league title, the state relay title, and the MIA state championship. So we graduated some studs, but we got a lot of new bodies. We got to figure out where everyone belongs, and the goal, as always, is to repeat at that. Win the league, win the state relay title, and win the state title.
The baseball team has a new face in town. 2011 graduate Chris Bissotti will bring something new to the table as he begins his first year as the head coach.
Really excited about putting the Burlington B back on my hat. I grew up here in Burlington. I played varsity baseball here for Burlington. I'm excited to share my experiences with the team, just go out there and win some baseball games.
After an outstanding 2023 season, the reigning Division II softball state champs are getting back on the mound for 2024. Many changes were made in the offseason, including the departures of some star athletes.
Yeah, we had 3 great seniors last year, Ella, Cass, and Cece. They were great players. They're going to be an absolute loss for sure. But every year we have kids who step up and, fill their shoes, and I'm sure that this year will be no different. Alyssa will be on the mound for us. I'm really looking forward to see what she can do. And she's going to have a really good supporting cast around her. She's going to have some really great fielding, and if we hit the ball like we did on our championship game against Tewksbury, we're going to be just fine.
Kristen will also be without her dad, who stepped away from his assistant coach position after the state championship win.
It's going to be weird not to have him. He's been here since day one, but I think a couple places that I'm going to miss him the most is lineup changes. Like if I ever need to pull a kid or make a change, he's always right there with different ideas. I'll say, hey, what do you think about this? And he'll come back with well, what about this? And we'll kind of talk it over. So that's always nice. I'm sure he's going to still be around. He just won't be involved as much as he has been in the past.
I'm Robert Paris for BNews Sports.
Forward Shea McDonald and defenseman Anna Viglione competed in the Massachusetts State High School Hockey Coaches Association Senior Girls All-Star Game this weekend, coming away with a 4-3 victory over the Northern team over the Southern team. Head coach Rick Sheehan was named coach of this game, and he added, and I quote, "It's a neat experience because it is the only time you meet the other athletes. They are all really talented, so you could put all of them with anyone, and they are going to play well." You can read the full article at bcattv.org/bnews/sports. Be sure to vote for the girls ice hockey team as they are nominated for the Poland Spring Team of the Year contest. As of this taping, the team is at 23% in the race. They have already won the weekly winners of the contest in Division II in January. Congrats, Devs. To cast your vote, Team of the Year, go to icerunsdeep.com/Poland Spring website. For more Red Devil action, go to bcattv.org/sports and check out our Twitter page at BNews Sports. It's all for now. I'm Anthony Matos. Back to you guys in the studio.
It seems like more rain, not snow, is on the horizon this week. Let's turn to Peter Brown for the forecast and stay tuned for your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with Ocean Weather for the next 7 days. Now, as we start out our period on Friday, we should be seeing temperatures at this time of the year climbing into the low to mid 50s, and it's going to be cooler out there on Friday. Starting out your weekend, temperatures only in the upper 40s with some spotty showers. And as we get towards the end of next period, in towards the April 5th time frame next Thursday, our average highs should be in the mid to upper 50s at this time of the year. And I think we're going to be almost 10 degrees colder than that, so a very chilly start as we head in towards April. The only thing that's really reminding us that it actually is spring is our length of day now, with those sunsets happening after 7 o'clock in the evening. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for us in terms of temperatures and precipitation over the next 7 to 10 days. And this is something we really didn't want to see too much of as we head into spring. Looks like they're expecting us to have a good chance of below average temperatures across all of New England and most of the Northeast. I'm seeing that as well. I don't even think we're going to break our average high over the next 7 to 10 days. Looking at our precipitation chances, keeping those higher chances of above average precipitation in the forecast. Doesn't look like right now that we're going to be having any snow out there, but we are going to be having some pretty chilly rain to start out the work week and getting in towards the middle of next week. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at those 7 days of weather coming up. And again, looking at the graphics here, kind of metza here. Not a great weather forecast coming up. Definitely very chilly as we head in towards the beginning of April. Starting out our weekend, of course, on Friday with those showers around, temperatures not getting out of the 40s. Now, as we get in towards Saturday and Sunday, the sun is going to come out. It's going to stay pretty cool out there with that cool northerly breeze out there. Temperatures just sticking around 50. And then as you head back to work on Monday, sun is still going to be out. Temperatures, again, pretty chilly, only in the upper 40s. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, looks like we may have a decent soaking of rain coming into our area. Looks like the areas north of us that saw that big snowstorm last week, looks like they may actually have a repeat of that. Maybe not quite as extensive, but still a good slog of snow coming, I think, for central and northern New England, as we have a pretty chilly rain with temperatures only in the mid-40s. And thereafter, as we get into Thursday, the sun comes out behind that strong storm, but some strong winds come back in from the north, and even with the sun out, temperatures are going to struggle to get out of the upper 40s. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hi, I'm Amy Poehler, and you're watching BCAT. Go Red Devils!
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On April 2nd, from 7 to 8 p.m., the Burlington Public Library is hosting a Mama Bear Effect Rock the Talk event. Free training for parents, caregivers, and guardians of children to learn about protecting children from sexual abuse. For registration, go to the following website. On April 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having a vernal pool exploration at the Mill Pond Reservoir. Everyone is welcome to attend the event. On April 4th, from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., the Burlington 4th of July Committee is having a fundraiser at the Chateau. Lunch, dinner, or takeout. Simply let your server know to flag your check for the BHS Interact Club fundraiser. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
As we do every week, we're coming to a close with a photo sent in by a member of the community. Jack Sherman sent in the photo of Dog and Cats, a statue that may be familiar to Burlingtonians for its resemblance to Havoc the dog, who is on the town common. Turns out Havoc, also known as American Dog, is only one of artist Dale Rogers' famous statues, and Jack Sherman is lucky enough to have Dog and Cat on his back porch. Thanks, Jack. If you have a photo you'd like to see featured here, email it to us at bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. That's our program for this week. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Phil Gallagher, and I hope to see you back here next week.